Hello, my friends. Welcome back for part 4 of our first run in the DLC. Like the last few videos, no time has passed. We are still sitting at 5 dupes in the exact same setting that we were before. So we will just jump straight into it. Looks like we're finally getting up here, and I'm really curious to see if we can actually hit the top. And this might be it. This is very cold, and this is typically... I'm like trying to move my head around to see if I could see any better. This is typically the temperatures that you'll see at this starting biome up here, so maybe this is it. Maybe. Yeah, we also need to try to hit the bottom. So I don't know how far we're going to get on either front today, but that's what I want to try for and see how far we can get. We still do need to empty our outhouses, so I guess I'll start doing that. I need to turn up the attacking priority, because attacking is kind of like a big deal. High. Very high. That's not going to be very often. Get out of here. Actually, what I might do, maybe this run, or rather this run, this video, maybe I'll focus on getting up hand washing and plum bathrooms and stuff like that, just to avoid germ spread, and kind of close the loop on that, because I put in such a big investment in trying to prevent any germ spread through the air, that maybe I'll just do that through every source. Go ahead and disable this. We're down to only 2 outhouses, so we need to solve this pretty fast. Minor skin irritation. Did you see that? Here we go. Eye irritation. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so being in polluted stuff is really bad for dupes. We got yucky lungs and eye irritation. That must have been the animation that we saw in the last video where the dupe was rubbing their eyes. Interesting. Okay, we're learning. We're doing stuff. We need more food. Copy settings. There we go. Yeah, so let's maybe try to get on plum bathrooms this time. Let me see what we're researching. Looks like nothing, so definitely a reason to start. Distillation. Whoops. Too many escapes. I wonder how cold everything is getting too. Can I not mop this? That was weird. I must have just selected something else. Our food's getting a little bit low. We talked about coldness is definitely setting in, but there is some warmth over here, so I'll just have to balance it out. Let's see what they're offering us. Do we want another dupe? I think the next one's probably going to be like a supplier, somebody that just runs stuff around. And I don't really see anybody that's super great about that, so I'll just give ourselves some brine. Why not? Maybe we'll eat some pickles. I don't need to sweep this anymore, so I guess I can just cancel all this stuff. Almost got this under control so that we're limiting the spread of disease and awfulness. Definitely a good theme for this year, unfortunately enough. Already getting long commute warnings. That's pretty interesting. I'll have to check to see what things are happening. Pressure's low. Oh no, that means it's going to ruin my Great Hall setup. I still need to get on top of setting up these skills. I don't know why I'm getting so lazy about that. Set up some research, more building, more digging, more operating, and more farming. There. They have beds now, too. I know, I'm being mean by not letting them have beds. Just deconstruct these to put up some airflow tiles. The thing to think about is I will not have algae, so I will need to convert to a more renewable resource other than just this polluted dirt at some point. This polluted dirt will last me a long time. So that's okay. But I will eventually need to start producing oxygen off of water, and we'll get to that probably not for a little while. I'm honestly just thinking out loud, because that's not something that we need to do right now or even care about right now, but It is on the brain of just trying to figure out how we're going to transition off of this. Whereas normally you would be like, oh, I can just sit on algae for a little while, that'll be fine. We just don't have that luxury now. That was quick. This builder just like sees a job and he's like, I'm on it. Look at him go. Alright, we're almost to water filtration. Sludge press. What is this? Separates mud and other sludges into their base elements. Huh. This must be how you get water and dirt out of mud, is what I would guess. Okay, we got to do this now. All these are full. So let's go ahead and set this to a high priority. Enable building. Fortunately, we have our barriers to prevent massive outbreaks, so I think we are good. And then our germs and stuff will be focused in this area, and it should get cleaned up here pretty quick. So that will be nice. I could have hired like a janitor to help do this job a little bit faster. If I had somebody that was hired a janitor. Yeah, I'm not paying these guys. They're just forced to exist in the way that I tell them to. I could have gotten a janitor in order to help do this job, but we didn't do that, so that's a bummer for us. We need to get into more of this clean water so we actually have water for research. So probably definitely a good time to get into our bathrooms, like we were talking about them being plumbed. We need dirt. I haven't even paid attention to our resources recently, but I guess it's not as important than normal when you need to be looking out for your algae and stuff like that. But dirt, we still do need to pay attention to in some form. It's going to be in this cultivable soil. 0 dirt. Do I really have 0? I do have 0. Well, we can do one of two things. We can either compost it, or we could turn the mud into something else. So it's good that we actually got that thing by accident. Let's set up a sludge press and figure out how this works. Let's prioritize this pretty high, just so we can get it on there. I'm hoping that this turns it into dirt, or we'll find out. If not, then I'm just going to have to rush plumb bathrooms, or my colony is just going to be a disaster of germs. We're already getting germs into this water down here, which I was thinking about this, and the good thing is that we can at least convert this water into food. So this can be as germy as we need it to be, and it'll just go straight into our food sources, so I'm no longer worried about that. Okay, this is producing something. Let's see what this looks like. 300 watts, that's pretty good. Huh, okay. I wonder if they have to be, like, in a convenient spot. I still have not paid attention as to whether they're capable of jumping from one side to the other. There's gonna be people peeing all over my base until I can get this dirt refined. Hopefully that's how you do it. So we will see. Definitely not a problem I was expecting of being unable to fill outhouses. Do I need to... I don't know if I need to actually have dirt initially. I must have already spawned with some in order to fill up the outhouses at first. Right? Because I don't know where else I would have gotten it from. Alright, what does this do? Yeah, mud to dirt and water. Okay, cool. Our estimations were correct. Let's make, I don't know, not 100, maybe 80 of these. And 7 for our operator. I guess this is less important than power. The operator should come up here and start doing it. I need a liquid output. Okay. I guess we'll just dump it down here. This would be a good way for us to get more water for research, so this just came right in time. This was by complete accident, but it sounds like this is a good thing to have. So we've got our mud. Need to definitely set up our pipes, which hopefully someone will get over here and build this soon. I'll just go ahead and prioritize it since we are making a huge mess around the base right now. People are having to pee on the ground and then mop up their own pee and take it somewhere else. That is a terrible quality of life, if I do say so myself. Alright, we're almost ready to start using the sludge press, so... This is great. Whoever came up with that, I am definitely enjoying that. Well done. This is an interesting way to get water. I like this a lot. It's definitely more interesting than just having dirt and water sitting around, so pretty cool idea. Well, we at least have one working outhouse, so that solves part of the problem, but we definitely do need to solve the rest, which is getting up plumb bathrooms. Let's start working on that, and I'll probably start setting that up maybe somewhere over here. Don't want to put it over in this area that much. This is my food. Yeah, let's just start digging out here. For no reason other than that's what I feel like. Alright, we need to start being a little bit more careful about letting this in. So I'm going to start actually putting up some... Oh, what did I build this out of? Sedimentary rock. This is awful. Why did I do that? Actually... Did this change? Or has this always been like that? This is like as good as obsidian. Have I just been wrong this whole time about sedimentary rock? Because that's actually looking pretty good. Let's do our usual test that we do to figure out what the best material is. Because I am not mad at those stats at all. And if that is what we can use, then that's great, because sedimentary rock otherwise is pretty useless. At least so I thought, or I've just been wrong this whole time. And if I am, my mind is about to be blown. We need to get this pressure up. I may need to start actually producing oxygen from something else. It looks like they may have changed this because the rate in which this is gassing off and actually filling things up is very slow. Which makes me a little nervous. Are they going to force me to build this other thing, which is a sublimation station? I don't really want to do that, but it might be forcing me to. Because I feel like it being in this box, it seems like it's a lot worse. Let me run a test here. And let me also mark the rest of these for sweep. Because what I'm feeling is the pressure that's generated from these when they're in a storage bin is way worse than it used to be. Let me see what happens. Yeah, it's not emitting. Although I felt like it was before. Maybe it's just the fact that it's so concentrated in one area. And the reason that it was working before is because it wasn't concentrated. So cleaning all that up may have actually been a disservice for us. It may have just made all of our pressures way worse. Which I think is not debatable right now. That's definitely a bad idea. So I guess don't do that. Unless we have a better way to produce it. I think this is just going to force me to produce it via this new building that we have. So kind of a creative way to force that building out, I suppose. Let's get rid of these and let's build that new machine. This operator's having a lot of fun. And their legs are going to be ripped. They're just going from jumping on stuff to running on stuff. Okay, let's build this other oxygen production machine, which I have never seen before. So let's just go ahead and build it. There we go. Let's see how much one of these things produces. I think it told us earlier. 660 grams per second. That's actually really fast. That's almost as fast as an electrolyzer. And a little bit faster than a algae... this has been named several different things over time. I think it was eventually, or at one point, called an algae deoxidizer or something like that. But yeah, oxygen diffuser. Let's see how much power this takes up. This takes 60 watts, so barely anything. This is actually a pretty good trade. Let's see. Luddite. I don't think I've seen that before. What would we need? We need a supplier. I'll just get the rust for now. Also need more seeds. Need somebody to clean up this area too. We need a lot of things, apparently. Well, at least we got our outhouses back up and working. Let's go ahead and continue to dig this out so we can get plumb bathrooms. Oh, and I was going to test this. So let's test out our different values. We'll get the mafic rock here in a bit. So this is not good. Sandstone's not good. This is also not good. Igneous rock. I mean, this is objectively worse than sedimentary rock, so now I'm just really confused. I remember sedimentary rock being one of the best forms of sharing temperature for like one of these regular materials, and now it seems like it's the opposite. Now it seems like sedimentary rock is really good for preventing transfer. Is that the case even for the regular tiles? Kinda. I am so confused. I need to go back to the actual game now to see if my whole life has been a lie. Produce power. Oh, I need to start ranching these. Our food's still getting really low, and we don't have enough seeds to keep pushing this. I think I just need to dig really aggressively. So let's start doing that. We need more power. Operator, do your job. Once we start digging this out a little bit more, I think we'll be able to find more seeds so we can grow more food, which is clearly becoming a problem right now. But also we'll have the whole map cleaned up. We can start at least getting a little bit better air pressure out of these things. Because these seem really strong. Actually, this is a dumb idea for me to put it in the same place. I should put it somewhere else. Right? Actually, I don't know what air pressure is going to stop it, so I'm just going to leave it there. At least they have a little bit of different ideas for pollution. I feel like it's always a good sign if the new expansion for a game tries to make use out of the things that they already had, as opposed to just stacking new stuff on top of it. I think a lot of times when you're making games, you really start to gain the most when you start cutting things or when you start repurposing things. I think just adding stuff endlessly can be kind of a trap. So I'm glad to see that they are definitely doing a lot of that stuff. Definitely want some insulated tiles. Is mafic rock done over there? I'll check in a sec. Let's build some ladders down here. Alright, I'm getting impatient. So we know for sure that sedimentary rock is the best thing here so far. Granite's worse. Igneous rock is worse, which just blows my mind. And sandstone is worse. Okay. I also haven't seen these things finish up yet. They take a little while to grow. It does take sulfur. Maybe I could plant more of those if we start running a little bit low, because I still do have these plots here. I don't know what kind of air pressure they take, but my pressure in my base is getting really bad. Let's rush this. We are getting plenty of dirt and plenty of extra water, though, so this is cool. I like this thing. It's producing a lot of extra water down here. This thing is totally flooded. Looks like we found a thermonullifier. Definitely one of the most overhyped buildings in the game, I have to say. Although I did promise... now I have to live up to a promise. Okay. I did promise a commenter that I would find new ways to use this, so... I am now obligated to find a use for this by the end of the game. I don't know what that's going to be. I'm going to try to just keep everything localized if I need cooling right there, so... I don't know exactly what that's going to be for, but we'll find out. So yeah, that could be interesting. Alright, we need to stay focused on what we were doing. Let's continue to set up our bathrooms. Got the mafic rock. Is this better or worse? This is better. Which is also a little bit mind-blowing, because I was pretty sure that mafic rock was pretty mediocre. Mafic rock is definitely the best that I have access to right now, so that's so strange. They either must have changed those, or I am totally off base. Did you guys ever play the first Legend of Zelda, like, really long time ago on regular Nintendo? This feels like that, where you play the whole game, you memorize where everything is, and then you go play it again, and all of a sudden, nothing is where it's supposed to be, and everything just feels wrong, even though it still feels familiar. And that's how I'm feeling now about these stats on the tiles here with the insulation. I swear it was not like that. And I am fully willing to accept being a wrong and crazy person about this, but I tell you what, it was definitely not like this before. Start insulating this pretty heavily. One thing it'd be interesting to see is if they come up with a better use for abyssalite, because there was once upon a time when you could actually use this to build tiles and to build pipes, and the heat transfer on this was basically zero, which meant that once you could build stuff out of abyssalite, there was no reason to build it out of anything else, because there's literally no purpose for it otherwise. Abyssalite was so overpowered back in the day, and they did eventually patch that, but I am curious if they're going to seesaw that back the other way and make a real use for abyssalite, so that will, I suppose, remain to be seen. Nobody is mopping. I really need a janitor. Check out our research and see if we need anything else. Let's see. Don't think anything is urgent right now, so I'll probably just leave it off. You don't have to keep this going all the time if you don't want to. I guess I could get sinks, since I'm going to be putting in plumb bathrooms here pretty soon, so I'll get that. But yeah, you don't have to keep this research going. If you have somebody research literally nonstop, they can finish all your research incredibly fast, like within the first 100 cycles or so. It's pretty crazy, so you don't necessarily have to do that, and especially this early in the game, it can sometimes be better to just let them help out in other ways rather than spending time on research that you're not necessarily going to use for a while. So that can definitely be a little helpful tip. Is this running? Okay, this needs polluted dirt. I'm going to have this request really high. And also lower these a tad. Alrighty, I think for sure, once we are done with this video, I'm going to start spacing them out a little bit more because there are some dead spots here where I'm just waiting for dupes to work and to do something. So the pace is definitely slowed down, which of course is going to happen once you have to cover more territory. I'm going to plant some more food. We are getting really low. Yeah, I'm going to have to start getting some other systems stabilized, which aren't going to be super entertaining. I just need to get my oxygen saturation up, which, yeah, it's going to happen. I will get Plum's bathrooms up, which we've seen before, so nothing super crazy there. So I think in the subsequent videos, I will just start having gaps in the playtime. Not really sure how long. I think just as soon as something interesting happens, I will stop, and then I will record a video so you can see what is going on. Here we go. Let's see when this thing overpressurizes. Max gas pressure is only at like 1,000 per tile, I think. Unless it's just getting messed up because it gets instantly converted to regular oxygen, but that's not great. It produces a lot, but it also just can't handle pressure, so you might as well be producing less, if that's the trade-off. These guys jumping on this thing has to be the screenshot for the next video, or for this video, because I just love that animation. I think it's so funny. This is complaining about a handful of things. What's wrong with the crops? 15 of 28. Why does it say 28? I don't think I have 28 crops. Maybe I do. No, I don't think I have that many. Could be complaining about other things too. Huh. Okay. But yeah, definitely need more food. We could probably dig these up just for a couple of emergency reserves. But I need more seeds. I need to stay focused on what I need to do. Are bathrooms or digging more important right now? Well, bathrooms are never going to be more important than getting more food, so I'm just going to start digging this out a little bit more. We'll save that for a little bit. Build some ladders here. Dig out a little more. Then this will all be resting and we can call this good. Just need to get all the polluted dirt out of the way. I can start building tiles here. No, my mafic rock. Oh, it's gone. Didn't seem like there was a ton. Sandstone in here. I think this is where it came from, because I haven't really been in a lot of other biomes. I don't think we should get any sort of tiding. I'll just grab another bit of rust. I also can't really feed my dupes as it is, so I don't want to take on more. Why am I opening this? Why don't I just deconstruct it? Get some power run down here. This is so weird to me that these things take power. It totally makes sense, but it still feels weird. Yeah, give me that power. I wonder if I should add another battery to help store this. I wonder as I place it. So I guess the answer is I wonder enough to just put one down and see what happens. Yeah, I just need to keep digging this out. I don't know why I'm getting so sidetracked by everything all the time. I guess we could use sedimentary rock, because apparently it's the second best thing now. Which is just news to me. And we'll keep walling this off to try to preserve this ice biome as much as possible and not cool our base too much. Now I feel weird about using this as regular tiles, because I'd rather save it, so... Apparently I need to just switch over to something else, like granite, even though there's more sedimentary rock than anything. So we'll dig up against this wall. Put down some more tiles. This is not good. Did this just melt through? I didn't see what happened here, but I definitely need to get this closed off. Why is this hydrogen so hot? Oh, it's not. I was mixing up the temperature with the size. Lol. Well, we have a lot of polluted water. I guess we'll open this up a little bit more. And I need to close this off. Okay, there we go. It will open back up whenever this gets built, but... Yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe there was just snow there, or I accidentally dug too hard, or something. Yeah, it still is kind of blowing my mind that I have cool slush geysers and cool salt slush geyser. Both accessible, because that means that I will not have any super hot water sources, and cooling could potentially just be not even a thing I need to spend any power on, which would be amazing. Not that power is really that hard to come by, but still, anything that you can get for free is definitely way better than having to pay for it. Which, speaking of which, is such a weird phenomenon. I don't understand the notion of like going crazy for something that's free or cheaper than something else. Like, if you have a use for it, then great, but just because it's free doesn't mean you necessarily just need to go get it. Maybe some people just have trouble resisting that, but I've kind of never understood that personally. Alright, we're pretty much at time. I think I'm going to call this here. We'll call this good. I'm going to let some time pass before the next video so that we have some more interesting stuff to talk about and brand new stuff to look at. So I'm not sure when I'll be back, but I'm just going to make notes about what has changed. Kind of do a typical recap that I've done with some of my other videos of like, hey, welcome back, this is what's changed, this is what's different. Yeah, we'll go to kind of a little bit more of that format work going forward, and there'll be more interesting stuff to see. I do have a lot of other videos out there if you want to look at tutorials for the base game, or if you want to look at other runs that I've done. I'm in the middle of doing another run where I have to take on every single dupe I see up until I have 100 of them. So that colony is getting pretty crazy, and I'm going to continue producing videos for that intermittently as well. So yeah, check out those other videos. I'll be back here really soon with more DLC content. Let me know what you think down in the comments and what you would like to see. If you have any suggestions about what I would do for the next run. Yeah, I'll check those out. I will respond. Yeah. Have a good day or night or wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video really soon.